All right, so where do you guys stay? You said roommate, so
We live at the dorms.
at CK?
Yeah.
At the college? Okay, so do you all live in like the same...
Me and him, and then
She's across the hall.
Okay, so the person who's harassing you lives
lives
where?
with me and him.
Okay, so you three live together.
Yep.
Where are you guys?
I am just visiting.
Okay, so where are
I
you?
live right across the hall from them.
Okay, so the three of you are together and you're across.
Mhm.
Okay, where is this guy now?
I have his location.
Wherever.
Okay,
And
all
we
right.
have videos of everything.
Here's the
They're
voice
pulling mine out too.
This is their roommate. Did you guys notify the school at all?
Yeah.
Yes,
What
they're-
did they
And the
say?
leasing manager too.
He said basically that he has to tell everybody in the school. We send out all our emails and statements so
Is
he
this the
can get
kid that keeps
evicted.
walking around the property?
No, it's not him.
You know what? Actually, you. You fucking piece of fucking shit. You are an absolute fucking scumbag, and I fucking hate you. You and Bria, I hope you fucking hole. You fucking scumbags. You fucking left me on Duval. You won't come on fucking some. But guess what? I have never fucking done that to you guys, and fuck you. No, I just don't ever want to fucking hear from you. Don't ever fucking talk to me. Don't ever fucking text me. And fuck you. I hope nothing ever good happens to you. I hope everything bad that ever wants to happen to you happens. Fuck you from the bottom of my toes, the fucking tippy toe of my fucking self. Fuck you.
And then here's my first voicemail.
You $2 fucking cent core bitch. I hope you keep picking up the bitches you live on the fucking Wall Street because all you fucking can't get because they're all fucking minors, you little fucking bitch. I fucking hope you fucking suck all the fucking suck you because you're a fucking little slut ass bitch, and I fucking hope you get nothing but in return but STDs, you fucking bitch. I know. Oh, you fucking slut.
And then like he was like texting.
And then play the video.
Okay.
And then this video is kind of long, but this is a phone call he had with my roommate where he starts to make like
The threats.
the threats.
he also like went through like a little rampage last night in our apartment, like threw our furniture out in the hallway.
And then he tried to
including-
fight the kid that I was with. That I ended up leaving his friend's house. I ended up leaving with my friend from Texas, and he told that kid that he was going to fight him. And then that kid walked out and was standing outside our room for a long time because he didn't want Jax to come in and like come to me because he kept on saying he was going to. And then like Jax just ended up like kept on saying he was going to fight him, and then changing his mind and throwing all the couch in the hallway, the rug in the hallway, like throwing everything out of y'all's apartment.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Why are you so mad? Like, I thought y'all were good. I hope you know that. I hope you know that you better hope that Bree's door is locked and that she's in there. You protect her. Because I'm coming after both of them. Fucking both of them. I want to beat both of their fucking asses. I want to beat both dirty bitches who want to fuck each other and kick their fucking ass. They better not be fucking home tonight.
Sorry, that's just us like trying to like, and then we like actually realize like what happened. Yeah, and then we're like,
Okay, at what point does he start to make threats? Because everything I heard so far, like he's cussing you guys out and he's
Calling you names.
calling you guys names or anything like that, but like literally anybody can do that. Like people can call us names as cops, but once it gets to the point where it's threatening, like I'm gonna hurt you.
Well, I mean, in
It's-
the beginning
it's
of the video,
not
he just said he
saying
better hope her
He's
door's
saying
locked
he's
because I'm coming in
break
to kick
it
her
down.
ass.
Yeah.
he's gonna what?
He's going to break the door down. Just
Yeah,
hope that the door is
it's
locked.
Yeah.
He did say
In
that.
the beginning of the video, he says she better hope her door's locked because I'm breaking it down and kicking her ass.
It's like really.
And then he's like, I better be there to protect her. He's roommates with me and him, and then she lives across the
Next
hall.
door. Oh, right. Okay. So let me ask you guys this. When you mentioned those threats, were you guys in fear? You guys
The college roommate genre has produced some of the most chaotic bodycam moments of all time, and this one earned its spot. Three roommates walk into a police station with a phone full of voicemails that sound like a slasher film audition tape. The suspect did not knock on a door. He did not throw a punch. He just opened the voice memo app and recorded his own confession. You are about to watch officers explain, very patiently, that yelling into a phone is sometimes legally identical to swinging a fist. Hit that like button if you already see where this is heading. Subscribe so you do not miss the part where the suspect realizes the voicemails were Exhibit A.
Like, we didn't find out. The thing is, like I said, we ended that night on a hug. So, to us, we thought that
We
it was
didn't
fine.
know about any of this till this morning.
Yeah, because I wasn't at home. I stayed at my friend's house. She was sleeping during all of this. So
who's recording this?
My roommate.
And then we recorded the recording this morning when we actually ended up.
So when you heard this you heard this message, were you in fear for your life?
Like, we were like laughing in the video, and then like right afterwards, we're just kind of like we really, if you like go farther along in the video, he kind of makes like a racist comment towards him, and he just doesn't stop going, and then it's just kind of like, it's like not a joke anymore.
Like, he
And
was
like,
being serious.
and then like today, like we just like, we don't even want to be at home or anything because
We get the whole racist comments, like we understand that, but for us to do anything, all right, criminally, one, he has to make threats, which he did, okay? So technically that's assault, all right? But we're asking specific questions to y'all because you guys didn't see this till when? Later on, right?
Early in the morning.
Right, early in the morning, okay? So now based off after the fact, you guys listen to the video or listen to the phone call, are you guys in fear of you guys' lives?
Yes, I don't want to go back to my house.
We have to ask those specific questions in order for us to do our job.
No, I understand. I mean, they were like in tears this morning when I woke up and found them.
Okay. Do you guys know his name? I mean, his
Yeah,
full name?
James.
I gotta get your guys'
Yeah.
ideas.
You guys got IDs?
No.
Well, we're gonna go over there right now and go talk to him, okay? Open up.
What?
Open up. Come over here, step outside.
Come on. Over here. Alright, do me a favor, stand over here, face the wall. Face the wall. Put your hands behind your back.
What did I do?
We'll explain to you. Right now, you're being detained.
This is your James, right?
First name James?
Yes, sir.
Do you have your ID on you?
No.
Is it in your room?
Yeah.
You okay if we go in there and get it?
No. Can I go with you and get it? Sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask what I did?
Yeah,
We're explaining to you.
yeah. Let me just double lock this here. Relax this hand.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Come on, 7-8. I got one male detained.
When we go outside, I'm gonna read you the Miranda rights.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So, when we walk outside. Where are they? Alright, stand across here, just stand up against it. Alright, I'm gonna put this here. I'm just gonna read you really quick some Miranda.
Can I ask what I did now?
Okay, so the reason why you're under arrest is because for assault.
I didn't assault anybody.
Assault's not hitting, it's verbal.
I didn't verbally assault anybody.
Okay, we have voicemails
I haven't.
with your roommates.
I
I heard them myself.
Phone conversations.
Yeah.
Recorded phone conversation.
12-minute phone calls. So I'm just gonna read you really quick the Miranda warning. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is just, so my question to you is, do you wanna talk?
I don't know what
You don't.
I don't know what to say right now.
Okay. Do me a favor, widen your stance. I'm gonna just search you. Do you have anything on you?
Just my phone and my vape.
Okay.
Time for the real legal breakdown. Let us look at the doctrine driving this entire arrest. Issue 1. The legal definition of assault when no physical contact ever occurs. Under the common law definition adopted by every state, assault is not battery. Assault is the threat itself. A reasonable person's standard applies. Would a reasonable person hearing those words fear imminent bodily harm? The voicemails described breaking doors down, beating roommates, and attacking them in their sleep. That is the textbook fear element. Issue 2. the obscene communication statute these officers ultimately filed under. Most states criminalize obscene or threatening communications by telephone or electronic device as a Class 1 misdemeanor. Penalties typically reach up to 12 months in jail and a fine up to $2,500. The elements require obscene or threatening language plus specific intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. The suspect's repeated voicemails over multiple hours satisfied the intent element by sheer volume alone. Issue 3. The constitutional foundation for warrantless arrest after the fact. Under United States v. Watson, 423 U.S. 411, decided in 1976, officers may arrest without warrant when probable cause exists, even for past misdemeanors committed outside the officer's presence. The voicemails were the probable cause. The roommate witness statements corroborated. The arrest was constitutionally clean. Issue 4. The Miranda compliance question. Under Miranda v. Arizona, 384 U.S. 436, decided in 1966, custodial interrogation requires warning. The officer Mirandized at the precise custody attachment point and confirmed understanding before any substantive questioning. The suspect's "I do not know what to say right now" came close to invocation but was not unambiguous. Issue 5. The spontaneous admission rule. Under Rhode Island v. Innis, 446 U.S. 291, decided in 1980. Statements not in response to questioning are admissible. The suspect's "I understand the comments I had made before invoking" is direct admission of authorship. That single sentence destroys any future defense narrative claiming he did not make the calls. The lead officer earns an A patient Miranda procedure. Calm de-escalation throughout the handcuff sequence. The suspect earns an F voluntary admission of authorship combined with 12 recorded threatening voicemails removes every defense.
Anything on you that will poke me, prick
Oh,
me,
no,
drugs,
ma'am.
weapons, or anything like that? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, you being
This
arrested?
no, I understand the comments that I had made or whatever, but I would never. I would never
Officer
have.
Fazzulo asked her any more questions, she read you your rights.
Yes, sir.
So if you understand those, do you wish to continue to talk to her about the situation?
I just don't know why this is going on.
It's a yes or no question we have to ask you.
Could I get more? Yes, sir. I guess.
If you want for her to explain it in more detail, that's her right. Yes. She can
Okay.
go over it.
So basically, you have the right to remain silent. Are you just cold or are you shaking? Okay.
And I'm also really like anxiety.
I'm just
ridden.
gonna switch over. Okay. All right. Just relax. Just take a deep breath. So you don't have to talk to me without a lawyer if you don't want to. At any time, if you say yes, I want to talk, and then you decide you don't want to anymore, you don't have. You could do that as well. So do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Do you want to answer my questions, or would you rather you do? Okay. So did you call them and leave voicemails and text messages? Okay.
Well, it was because we have been going through this horrible living situation for a week. I haven't even been. They have been leaving food all over the apartment. They have left it all disarray, all the stuff in there that has been dirty and not cleaned up, vacuumed, to the point where we are worried. I am worried we are going to get bugs, and everybody else that has seen our place has commented and said that they would help us clean it because that's how disgusting it has been.
How does that make you feel?
It has made me feel so like not heard or respected when I listen to them and I do what they ask of me. So, and where the anger and I guess the distraughtness of everything is coming from. So I have been very upset with what has been going on and what I have been dealing with for a week, and I have talked to them nicely, calmly. You can ask anybody. I am the sweetest motherfucker you will meet.
Okay,
You've spoken to them like before the voicemails. You talked to them. Like,
Yes,
in person?
sir.
Did some of those
No,
conversations
nothing
match
has
the voicemails?
happened. Nothing has happened. You can ask anybody here. I am so confused why this is happening.
Okay, but so they had voicemails.
And
And
the
text
reason I was so
messages.
upset that night specifically
That was
is
like last night.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And we are going to, and I'm going to explain this is because we had all just gone, or we were all, I guess, in the same vicinity for St. Patty's, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my roommates came down and pulled me away from one of the bars and said, mind you, he's not old enough to be at the bars. Pulls me away from the bar.
Now for the lessons, because this case has 3 that every viewer should hear. Lesson 1. For citizens. Every voicemail you leave is admissible at trial. Every phone call is a sworn statement waiting to happen. The voice memo app is the prosecutor's best friend. Anger that lives on a recording lives forever. Lesson 2. For roommates and victims. Document everything. Save voicemails before they disappear from the carrier. Forward them to email. Screenshot the timestamps. Police cannot prosecute what they cannot hear. Lesson 3. For everyone. A 4-hour release does not equal innocence. Misdemeanors come with no contact orders that bind immediately. Violating that order during release is a separate criminal charge, far more serious than the original. Subscribe, share this one, and drop your take in the comments. We read every single one.
And is telling me that he is so sorry and he is apologizing for everything that has been going down and that he wants to fix it because he misses his best friend, which was me at the time, and this is why I'm so confused about why this is all going down. We get separated at the bars and everything because I get with my coworkers. Can we just go buy that wall?
How about we do this?
I'm so cold. I'm so
You wanna go in the back
sorry.
of the car?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're gonna have a seat, and then all right, have a seat.
So am I going to jail tonight?
All right, so Officer Fasula is going to explain that to you, all right? But bottom line is some of the things that you said over phone calls that was recorded, voicemails and anything like that, you're making threats, all right? That's assault, all right?
Sir.
When somebody's in fear of their life because of the threats you make,
They
listen.
were never in fear for their life. They have been home. They haven't even seen me.
It doesn't matter
That
whether
is
you.
so-
It doesn't matter whether you seen them or not. You're making phone calls, which is equivalent to harassing phone calls. All right, you're calling them all kind of different names. You're cursing at
You're
them,
threatening that you're
and
gonna
you
keep
made
their-
threats on it.
Remember last night you said about the door that you were going to go in there and I hope she just keeps her door locked.
No, I don't remember saying that. at all,
Okay, she has it on a recording.
I don't remember, and I'm sorry if I did say that, because that's not. And
And
I
there-
did apologize to her specifically, and we talked about it.
They're scared.
Aubrey, and then I think one of your roommates, Javaris.
Yes, sir.
They're fearful of you. The things that you said, that's assault. Now you can call somebody.
I'm so upset by the fact that
I understand that, but you can call
and that's
people
not-
names and whatnot. But once you start making threats, all right, that becomes an assault.
And what happened that night is the fact that we got separated from the bars, everything. My phone died. They weren't answering my phone calls. I called one of our mutual friends who called them. They said, he deserves it. He needs to walk and think about what he has done to us.
Okay,
And that set me off, and I'm so sorry.
I understand that set you off, but it still doesn't give you the right to make threats like that. All right, that's criminal. Okay, you can't do that. You can be upset, call him a motherfucker all day long. You know what I mean? It's like you're an asshole for leaving me, whatever the case may be. But once you make threats, all right, like harmful threats, you're gonna beat them up, whatever the case may be, break in their
So
door.
am I getting charged and everything?
There's evidence, right? And they want to press charges. And we have to do our jobs and enforce the law. Okay? All right, but tonight you'll spend the night in jail. Tomorrow morning you'll be arraigned. All right, meaning you'll go in front of a judge. All right, first thing in the morning. All right, and go from there. As of tonight, you are being charged for assault. Okay?